Morning Show on East Coast FM.
The Morning Show
with Declan Meehan. East Coast FM.
More on opening up or not. Well, even with the government roadmap, which is due to be signed off today, the English language education sector say they are still left in limbo when it comes to reopening. To look at the situation, we're joined by Colm O'Byrne from ATC Language School in Bray. Morning, Colm.
Good morning, Declan. How are you?
Good morning to you. So are students coming into the country?
Students are coming into the country to study third level education at the moment, but they're not coming into the country to study in English language schools.
And that's your difficulty?
That is our difficulty, and both the English language sector and the university sector are under Minister Harris's department, further and higher education. And we're really just hoping for some clarity today as to when we can begin to recruit. And listening to Daniel McConnell a little bit earlier, quite hopeful that maybe from September 20th onwards we might be in a position to do that. But we know that it's going to be a phased approach.
Right. Have you any contact? I mean, you're in Bray. Any contact with Minister Harris or his department?
We do indeed. I mean, I'm a director here of ATC Language Schools, but I'm also the chair of Marketing English in Ireland. Just representative association in Ireland. We represent 74 English language schools across the country. And we've been engaging with the Minister's department essentially since lockdown began on March 12th last year. And had produced a very robust set of protocols, and we're ready to go. We just need a green light from the Minister's department.
Right, because the last correspondence that we got from the Minister was they were talking about opening the 19th of July, if it was safe to do so, but that was for pupils or students already in the country and not for inviting others in. So how does that sort of ruling affect you?
Yeah, I mean, so this was after a long period of negotiation with the department, and as I say, we worked very closely with them in terms of getting approval for protocols. And from July 19th, as you say, for the existing cohort of students who are patiently studying online over the past 6 or 7 months, we were, if it was safe to do so, allowed to bring them back into schools in line with the agreed protocols. And that's worked very successfully. But when I say successfully, Declan, it's very relative. I mean, we've 22 classrooms here on the seafront in Bray. Today we're operating 5 classes with a total of 22 students. So we have an average of 4.4 students per class. So it's successful in that we were able to bring those students back from an online to face-to-face classes. But in terms of a business model, it's not sustainable.
And you can't advertise internationally, I suppose, because you don't know what you'd be bringing the students in for.
Well, that's correct. I mean, essentially, we're stopped from recruiting internationally. I mean, English language schools across the country have lost 95% of their income over the last 2 years, between 2020 and 2021. And there is a lead time in our sector. So even if we do get a green light, it is going to take quite some time for students to travel back into the country. In the short term, you'll have European students travelling in, but the long haul markets, Asia with Japan, Korea, also markets like Turkey and Russia, they're going to take quite some time to come back. And that's why we've always asked for a lead time. It is going to be a very gradual, phased build up when it does begin to happen. So, but we just need to start, and we're hopeful that somewhere between the 6th of September and the 22nd of October, that we're in the mix there.
Well, listen, we've put in a call to Mr. Harris's office to get an update on the views there, and we certainly come back to yourself. But I know, and some people have told me anecdotally, that there are secondary schools in Ireland that have international students in there. So why should you be left out? And I tell you, we'll come back on it, Colm, and see what the story is. So
brilliant.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Take care. That's Colm O'Byrne there, School Director of ATC Language School in Bray.